What's up, guys? How are you? Welcome back. It's me, your boy, your brother, the man you guys love to hate. It's me, Hebot. And today I want to do a quick video while I'm out here doing some errands to talk about. And yes, I still got my protection here, my mask that I got to do a video on from my brother, the graphic card. And I do have my gloves right here. See? So anyway, yeah, oh yeah, and sanitizer. Gotta be ready all the time. I want to talk about real quick the hypocrisy. My God, the hypocrisy in the industry with these YouTubers and the media, the influencers. It's unbelievable that's going on right now. What you guys are probably gonna ask, what am I talking about? Simple. It's two things I'm going to try to address. Last of Us 2 scores being 10 out of 10s. And the fact that they came out and basically admitted that the PlayStation 5 is going to be a really, really big machine. And there's already pictures being leaked out showing them side by side scaled with other consoles through the other generations. And it's even bigger than the PS3. And you guys know how big the PS3 was. And now I'm seeing videos from all types of guys, Rich Review Tech and others. And shout out to my boy David for letting me see the video because I didn't even know they confirmed the size, right? That here's the reason why. Because of thermals, right? And all this other tech talk they bring, breaking it down that the guys talked about in the article. Now, when the Xbox One OG came out, the original one with the Kinect, the first thing I remember seeing was a bunch of videos making fun of it, how big it looked, that it looked like a VCR, that it looked like a Betamax, that why is it so big, that it's so ugly. Yet, Microsoft came out and confirmed they went with a bigger design and a bigger fan to make sure and to overcompensate for the debacle and disaster that they had with the Xbox 360, which we all know had the red ring to death. And they spent almost, I think, $2 billion, according to what Peter Moore said, or $1 billion, billion would it be, to fix all those problems and issues, which they didn't charge anyone. It was free. Me personally, one of the Xbox I had to send back almost 6 times before I got a replacement with a brand new one. And then, of course, we all know they did the Elite 360 bundle, and they fixed the issue, and it was all better, and nothing started to overheat. And then they did the slim version, the E model, then they did the other model, which was great because it was desoldering stuff on the inside because of the heat. It was over the main processor would desolder it and get loose and would mess it up. So anyway, and now I see all these people saying, oh, I'm fine with the design. I don't care if it looks like a futuristic building. I don't care if it looks like a George Foreman grill. I don't care if it looks like a router. As long as it works, that's all that matters and that makes sense. And as long as it doesn't overheat, which tells you clear as day they didn't figure out a better solution to prevent heating without making it much bigger. Unlike the Series X, that the design's a lot more shorter and sleeker in the sense that it looks like a small speaker from like Alexa and stuff like that. So, and that's fine, but isn't it familiar? Doesn't that sound familiar how when we said that, right? The Xbox community, right? Having my cappuccino right now. That we didn't care about how it looked. We thought it was fine, right? The same way the brick was there for power surge reasons to protect it in case there was a blackout to make sure it wouldn't go bad because it was new hardware, it was expensive, and they were trying to make sure that nothing went wrong with the customers and that they were happy. All these videos, oh my God, look at the power brick. Even though the Wii U had a power brick, the Wii had a power brick, the PS2 had a Slim had a power brick, nothing new. It's been done through the years, right? And so It was all a mockery. It was all funny. And now all you see is all these people, oh my God, it's perfectly fine. I love it. It's so aerodynamic. It's so futuristic. Listen, that's okay and all dandy. But you guys can't play that hypocrite mode where when it's for PlayStation, everything's okay. And then when it's concerning Xbox and when it's something with Xbox, it's you want to make fun. It's party time. Let's make fun of shit. Let's be retards. Let's be this. Let's be that. Okay? So now, that's the first issue I want to address. The hypocrisy is real. The hypocrisy is real. And I'm not mad because, to be honest, that's how we've always felt. If the console does its job, what does it matter what it looks like? We never strayed away from our messaging or what we said, ever. I know I haven't. I know 100 hasn't. People like E-Rock or Sega Man or Sega Forever or even, Ghost Rider. We never strayed away from that messaging. We always said that. It didn't matter. So it's just funny. And I'm glad that it's coming out so people can see it. But the difference is, most of the people in the community on the Xbox, you guys are frauds. You guys are weak because you're not pointing it out. You're not saying anything. You're not saying anything. You're not pointing it out. You're not letting people know, yo, for real, it's okay now, but it wasn't okay then. This is part of console warring without being toxic. This is console warring calling out BS, which apparently people that on the Xbox side, a lot of them, have amnesia and don't know how to do because they're more concerned about the clickbaits and the ponies that come visit their site or their videos or their podcasts or whatever, because that's what they're worried about. I don't want to lose my PlayStation base. You crazy? Then I'll lose half my base and I'll lose half my subscribers and half my viewers. I'm not going to do that. Oh, well, sorry. I'm not a fraud. I'll keep it real and I'm never going to change that. Okay? Ever. It's never going to happen. And now the second topic I want to talk about is that whole Last of Us being a 10 out of 10. A 10 out of 10. When they made a video on the PlayStation channel clearly showing you the whole demographic and idea of their target behind the game and who is the audience they want. They made a game that started off that was supposed to be for the general public with Last of Us 1. And in this game, they're turning it into something that's nothing about, that's completely about political agendas, woke, sexual preferences, the LGBT community, and equality. Right? Which the game is supposed to be a zombie apocalypse. It's supposed to be surviving in what is a pandemic to people to live like The Walking Dead. But instead, they're trying to bring all these social issues from our real world into the game. Why? Since when does a sexual preference in a character in a video game completely changes the dynamic or completely changes the effect of the game or the story? For what reason? It never has. And we had games before that do it. Skyrim, Fable, Mass Effect. They all come to find because they're the ones I know. But the difference is that you were able to pick if you wanted to have a female partner, a male to male, female to female, whatever your preference is within the game. Same way if you wanted to get married or if you wanted to have a bunch of kids, you were able to do it. And it was creating equality and inclusivity without disrespecting the entire rest of the audience. Like people like myself, because I'm religious. I don't believe in homosexuality. I don't think it's appropriate because men and women were created to create life, right? No man on man or women on women can create life. You can't. No science, no anything. And the whole point of us having babies is to continue life, for recreation of life. So you clear as day see that that's the point, right? And then you see all those people that are doing the review, and a lot of them are saying things indirectly like, oh, the gameplay's not really great, it's kind of still messed up like the original. The pacing of the game is terrible, it's really not that great. The story's kind of convoluted all over the place. They kind of, really don't respect the original material. And then they go, but because it's so provocative and thought-provoking, it's fantastic. It's a 10 out of 10. What? First of all, the fact that they don't have any multiplayer component, any co-op online in the campaign component, okay? Even though you walk around with an AI, it looks like in some parts, like the lover of Ellie, right? I don't know her name. And even some other characters like the Oriental guy, the Chinese Asian guy. And yet there's no co-op component. That alone takes away points and deducts points. That alone makes it an 8. Right there, off the hip. Right off the hip makes it an 8. Because there's no type of multiplayer component, period. Or an 8.5. The fact that they're saying it's slow pace, which means the game's boring. And there's nothing really new introduced into the fold of the mix of the gameplay. Based off from the original. Already deducts points. The fact that they're saying that the game doesn't really have good continuity with the story, and they kind of don't stay respectful to the source material, is also deducted points. The fact that they're saying that the gameplay controls, like the shooting mechanics, for example, don't really feel good and fleshed out and polished. They feel kind of clunky, just like the first one. That's also deducting points. So, if you really were going to score at the end of the day, if it has all those issues, the game should be a 6. Maybe a 5.5 even. Because, okay, it has great animation based on the mocap technology. We all know this. But you don't play mocap. Mocap doesn't make the game fun. Mocap doesn't make the controls and the gameplay and the fun factor better. I didn't buy a game to take out popcorn and start to eat it. No, that's not why I buy a game. Never. I buy games so that I can play them, immerse myself with the gameplay and the story, and have fun while doing it. And yeah, I know this is all coming from the media. Not mainly from the people, because we haven't gotten our hands yet. So we'll have a better understanding once the people start playing, and a better idea with the actual gamers, right? But I'm going to give a shout out to Alana Pierce, even though I don't really follow her. But I saw the video, and I saw people talking about it, where she's kind of indirectly saying that, it's kind of not right to give a game a high score based on biased attachment to the original material, and especially if it's more movie or stories heavy and less gameplay heavy, because it's not right for games to get a low score when they have really great gameplay, and just because they don't have a heavy story or heavy graphics, I guess, is what she was trying to imply, because she was being very professional about it, or trying to at least, that it's not right, that shouldn't be the way, that's not the way that things should be scored. And I salute her for that, because she had the courage to do it. She's a woman, so no one can say, oh, it's because you're being a bigot because you are racist or you're a homophobe. No one can do that, because it was a woman from her perspective, right? And I'm glad that she did that. I think it was needed. Is it going to change the outcome of the score of the game? No, of course not. It's already there. It's done. But let me remind you, most of those scores that were perfect, 10 and 10 and all that, were from outlets where Sony-centric. Push Square, Kotaku, Giant Bomb, GameSpot, you know what I mean? Eurogamer, Digital Foundry. I mean, really? All people sponsored very heavily over, with Sony stuff, by Sony. Because that's another thing Alana, I think, spoke about in the video, or alluded to about, because you get these perks and then people are more scared to losing the ability to get perks anymore from certain companies or set companies like Sony or even Microsoft for that matter. She was speaking on that. And that's good. Because that's the truth. A lot of these so-called sites that are supposed to be more professional and considered real gaming journalists, like IGN, for example, they get perks. And that's why they're very careful how they give reviews, especially when the big games and the big companies. Not so much the smaller stuff, but the bigger games of the bigger companies. And of course, obviously, we know Microsoft, because Microsoft, no matter how much they get dogged and pooped on by everybody, they always play the kumbaya and act nice with everybody. So, oh, it's okay. And they give them a tap in the hand and they keep giving them perks. They keep giving them, sending them, things to review. That's the only thing I can't stand about Microsoft. And no matter what they do, they keep it really, really professional, even if they know that it shouldn't be, because these people literally, even though they treated them with welcome hands and treated them nice, shit all over the product. And I think it's because Microsoft's idea is be honest. If it's not good, it's not good for you. In your opinion, if it is, then great. And a lot of times you see people do it because they just don't care. Because they know they can get away with it. And they hate Microsoft, or they're more Sony-centric or Nintendo-centric. Look at those Nintendos, right? All those sales. Where the exclusives at? Nintendo Switch hasn't had big exclusive. They did a remaster of Xenoblade. Again, that was the last thing they did. And now they're talking about Paper Mario sometime in the future. You haven't seen nothing from the Metroid. Zelda Breath of the Wild 2 is nowhere near done. You haven't heard nothing from Bayonetta 3. Ultimate Alliance 3 came out, sales were garbage. Astro Chain came out, sales were garbage, just like Bayonetta 2, like I knew it was going to be. Even Luigi's Mansion 3, you haven't seen nobody really talk about it. The sales weren't as great. Animal Crossing is, and when the two other Animal Crossings on the Wii and the Switch and the Wii U sold like shit. Guess which one did sold well though? The one on the Nintendo DS, 3DS, which tells me that most people that were on the portable, the kids and teenagers, migrated to the Switch because they're treating it as the console and the portable together. That's what it tells me. Okay? That's what it tells me with that. So, basically, that's how you know the hypocrisy. 8 million sold or 9 million units sold. And when you go look at the numbers for the Animal Crossing on the Wii and Wii U, garbage. Garbage. They didn't even sell the amiibos, for Christ's sakes. You see them in all the 5 and belows. The amiibos. Still there, sitting there for $5, $2. Because nobody bought them. Anyway. So, that idea of The Last of Us being 10 out of 10, that shit is a bunch of bull crap. And any real gamer knows that that's how it's been this whole generation. The agenda behind it is just so they can make Sony look like the knight in white and shining armor. Because it's the end of the gen. So they can leave on a high note, like they kind of did with PS3, with The Last of Us 1. So it could be considered in Jeff Keighley's show. I'm telling you right now, I'm calling it right now, Last of Us 2 will be Game of the Year. I'm telling you right now, it's not going to be Cyberpunk, it ain't going to be no Halo Infinite, it's going to be Last of Us 2. Anyway, and if I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. I'll admit to that. But you ain't gonna see they're doing it so that it could be candidate because they know it's far away and there's still other big games coming, like the Avengers, which should be a really knockout game from Crystal Dynamics too and Square Enix. So they're trying to make sure that they keep it relevant, keep it within the conversation, so people don't forget about it. So it could be Game of the Year contender. Because if they get Game of the Year contender, then Naughty Dogs get the nice bonus. They get more money, and they're allowed to do more games. You understand? Because that's how it works. It's funny. It's hysterical to me. It's hysterical to me. It's just hysterical to me. I hope that the people that review it are honest, like Skillup was. He was the only one that I kind of saw that was really honest about it. Even though he kind of iffy, because he said that Death Stranding was a masterpiece. That shit was... The story was good, maybe to a certain extent, but the game was dog shit. Sorry. Boring. The concept, everything. It's like, oh God, really? So, but he did say, I think he was genuinely being honest with when it came to The Last of Us. The way he was talking about it, even when he did his sit down with his two other friends, and some of them liked certain different things, and then some of them kind of agreed, and they touched on a lot of points. You know, like the gameplay not being that great, the game being boring, the story being kind of all over the place, even though he still liked the story. A lot of things. So I think he was generally being honest. I think he really felt the game wasn't that great. And I commend him for that too. Salute to him for doing that, because at least he was being honest. But I really hope that now when other people play it, that you have the same honesty. And that you don't do like the corporate shilling and sheep mentality like always. And just say it's great because you know it's the Cinderella game in gaming right now. Because it has things that have to do. Because that's another thing. People act like that's the only game or the first game that introduced things that are provocative and racy, like sexual preferences or gay relationships. When it's not. It never was. Okay? And if you go see that video about The Last of Us, where that girl that's a cook, I think it is, and she's also a lesbian in real life, how she never played games ever! She's not a gamer, never in her life. Last of Us changed her life because the first time she played the game. Which is in a way kind of biased and hypocritical on people that think like her that are gay as well in this world, because that means you only care about the game that has so much high praises just because it's promoting something that you live like your life as, with your lifestyle, and that you approve of. So if that's the case, I want to see more games with guys like me that are big, heavy set, fat, or chubby, whatever. I want to see more protagonists like that in games. Or more Latinos, more Puerto Ricans. I want to see that in games too. If that's the case. Right? Because that's kind of hypocritical in a way if you look at it. From a different perspective, right? But, of course, I'm going to get people in the comment section. You're a hater! You're toxic! You're just a retard! You're a dumb fuck! You're this, you're that. And yes, that's the kind of comments I get. Hysterical. Makes me laugh every day. Because they really think it bothers me when it doesn't. Because I'm not going to change who I am, my belief, and why I think and how I say things. So, anyway. That's what I wanted to bring up about The Last of Us and the Scourge and how I feel. Now, could the game be good? Yeah, absolutely it can. Because I'm going to play it. And my son's going to get it. He bought it. Because we buy all games. Try them out. We don't like them. We say what we got to say. We like them. We say what we got to say too. I'm more than 100% sure I'm not going to like it. But I'm going to still play it. Because I'm going to prove that I played it so people won't say I don't play those games and that I don't know what to talk about. Because if anybody lies, I'm going to expose them. Like, she'll say, oh my God, but it's a masterpiece because of this, that. Then you go and check it out and it's bullshit. None of that's there. You know how many times they did that with God of War, with Uncharted, with a lot of their games. And I fucking played the game and Days Gone and those. And I'm like, what the hell? Garbage. Straight garbage. That's why I play them myself. Because I like to expose people and their lies. Especially in the Sony side, because they love lying and making things bigger than what they actually are. Always have been. For years, they've done that. So anyway, guys, let me know what you think down in the comment below. Like I said, I'm trying to bring out more content more frequently because I really can't sit down and play games too much because of my condition. It's hurting me really bad. And sometimes it comes to the point where I can't even really breathe. And it's hard for me when I'm driving. But when I'm driving, I can do this as I'm driving, so it makes it a little bit more doable. I appreciate all the love I've been getting. I hit the 700 mark in the subs, so I will be doing the Gears of War giveaway, like I said. Thank you guys for helping me reach that goal. It means the world to me. I thank each and every one of you guys. All my brothers been next to me, stood by my side, like 100, Dorian, the new legal, Sega Man, Sega Forever, you know what I mean? Master Chief, Tuck Master, Ghost Rider, E-Rock, people like, I said E-Rock said singer, man. You know, I can't remember all because there's so many. You know, that always by my side. And on Twitter, David and Judzilla and Starboy, Jamie Moran. That always just gives me a lot of love and positivity. You know, because it means the world to me. And thanks to their continued support in pushing my brand, like Ricardo Vasquez, Sean Raleigh, you know, not necessarily guys that do YouTube, but that are always helping me in my content and giving me the love and support. It means the world to me, guys. And all of you that come in here every day. Leave a thumbs up if you like the video, and leave a thumbs down if you didn't like the video. And, as always, share this video with someone you might think might like it. And if you're new to my channel and you subscribed, thank you first of all for stopping by. Second of all, I appreciate that you subscribed because I know you didn't have to. But if you did, remember I consider you part of my family now. So, until the next one, guys, if you want to help me in any way, shape, or form, if you have the means, or if it's from the kindness of your heart, or anything because you just want to, because you like what I do. You know how to do it. It's all down in the description below. And you can find me on social media on Twitter and on Instagram. Instagram is C_respect. And on Twitter is Powerful Gamer. Okay? And on YouTube, obviously, as you see here, I'm Ebot. So, guys, I'll see you very soon. I hope you liked the video. And I hope you understood where I'm coming from. I know I'm going to get toxic trolls in the bottom, but that's to be expected. This video is for the people that have logic and make sense and know what I'm trying to say or how I'm coming at it from my point of view. Love you guys. See you on the next one. Bye.